Hello, my friends, dear listeners, and welcome back to another episode of Sex Here and Now. As always, I'm your host, Matt Lockman. I'm a licensed clinical therapist and ASECT certified sex therapist. All right, listen up. Let's get vulnerable for a second. If I could pick one topic to soapbox for the rest of my life, a hill to die on, a TED Talk, if you will, it would be this one. Barring some sort of trauma that someone has experienced that makes doing this potentially emotionally harmful, masturbation is healthy. Period. Let's start this episode running through some fun facts about self love. Masturbation is incredibly common. Around 95% of men and 75% of women report masturbating at some point in their lives, though rates vary by age and study. There's no evidence out there that masturbation is physically harmful. For most people, it is considered to be a normal part of healthy sexual development and functioning. Orgasm releases a cocktail of neurochemicals. Dopamine, oxytocin, endorphins, and prolactin are all released during and after orgasm, contributing to pleasure, bonding, and relaxation. Hell, many people sleep better after masturbating. Masturbation can reduce stress. It can help people learn what feels good. People who know their own bodies often have an easier time communicating preferences with partners, which is associated with greater sexual satisfaction. Masturbation does not cause erectile dysfunction, infertility, blindness, hair loss, or acne. Girl, if you believe any of this, call me. And while I could keep going on, let's just end with restating that masturbation is one of the safest forms of sexual activity that anyone can do. But I get why people don't do it or are fearful of it. Most of us weren't taught that masturbation was healthy. We were taught that it was dirty and sinful and immature or something to hide. When you've spent years hearing those messages, it makes perfect sense that touching your own body can come with a surprising amount of guilt. Masturbation is usually talked about in one of three ways. One, it is shameful or kept secret. Two, it is a placeholder until we find a partner. Or three, well, the way I am talking about it today, as healthy. This is probably a good time for me to slow down and say, just because I am saying that masturbation is healthy does not mean I am saying you have to do it. Let me repeat. Just because I am saying that masturbation is healthy does not mean I am saying you have to do it. The problem comes in when someone who is listening to this misinterprets this message and goes, ugh, he is saying it is healthy, but for me, it's not. And I think it is like gross. Okay, cool, friend. Glad you don't like it. Maybe examine that for yourself and figure out why that is and where you learned that from, but go off, sis. You don't have to do it. But again, that doesn't mean that it's not a healthy option for most, if not all humans. Again, bearing physical trauma or past emotional trauma people need to work through. For those of you who are struggling to accept this message, I want you to start small. Do what I did when I was learning to like country music. You do not have to go home and immediately masturbate or listen to Eric Church. Instead, simply get curious about where your discomfort comes from. Ask yourself, who taught me this? Was this my family? Was it religion, culture, social media? Is this belief actually mine, or is it something I inherited? Sometimes the most healing thing we can do isn't changing our behavior right away. It's recognizing that the shame we've been carrying was handed to us. You don't have to force yourself to agree with me today. Just be willing to question whether the messages you've received are actually serving you. While I still find it hard to love country music, I do like it a lot more than I used to, and that's because I was willing to give it a shot. For those of you who already get it and want to deepen your relationship with your sexuality, I have a challenge for you. The next time you masturbate, don't make orgasm the goal. Slow down, explore. Notice what your body enjoys when no one else is involved. Pay attention to your breathing, your fantasies, your emotions, and the different kinds of touch that feel good. Think of it less like scratching an itch and more like learning a language. The more fluent you become in your own pleasure, the easier it becomes to communicate that pleasure with a partner. Your body is worth getting to know, and masturbation can be one of the safest and healthiest and most compassionate ways to build that relationship. Listen, at the end of the day, it's night. But more importantly, at the end of the day, I want you to know that you never have to masturbate a day in your life. Your body is your own, and just because I am sitting here telling you that most, if not all, research points to self love being healthy, doesn't mean it is for you. But do me a favor and simply think about why something designed to bring immense pleasure to us as humans is seen as so threatening to so many people. Sex Here and Now is written and recorded by me, Matt Lochman. For more resources, education, or support, you can find me on all social platforms at Cleveland Sex Therapy. Thanks for being here, and as always, stay curious.